All righty. Good morning, Lauren. How are you
Good
today?
morning, Danielle. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today a
Mhm.
little bit about your experience and the type of jobs that you are interested in. All
Mhm.
right. So let's just go ahead and get right to it. We're going to keep this pretty short and sweet. I just want to hear a little bit about the work that you have done most recently. So
Okay.
you have the floor.
All right. Well, I've worked in an office. I've done remote jobs. I've done a lot of admin, answering phones, emails, negotiations for clients. I'm very detail oriented, very
Mhm.
OCD about paperwork. I'm a little old fashioned. Everything that I've learned, I've had a medical background also. So everything that I learned years and years ago before electronics was if you don't write it down, it didn't happen.
Yes.
So not only is it computer based, but I am a little on note taking, a little OCD about that.
I understand.
Yeah, because if the internet wipes out, there's no records. So
Sure.
unfortunately, but I do like the customer service space. I'm a people person. Um, I could talk to anybody about anything. I'm very sympathetic when it comes to certain situations. I can relate to a lot. I look at the big picture versus just have tunnel vision when it comes to people's situations. So I try to help them out as much as I can. Um, but that's where I'm based out of, pretty much is more customer service, people skills,
Okay. What about your computer skills?
computer skills. I I'm familiar with Google, Excel. If it's a software that is company based, I'm a quick learner.
Okay.
So
And you were doing a lot of logistics, route planning at your last job. You were with
correct,
UPS.
correct.
Okay. So as far that always gets me. I mean, I understand that that is a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what that looks like. Like what how do you go about that?
So not only with UPS, but I mean a few other companies that I've worked with. You pretty much take a driver, and if they want to go from point A to point B, or even with UPS, they have strict routes. Sometimes monkey wrenches happen. There's traffic delays or something gets missed. You have to, and this comes with the big picture again. You can't have that tunnel vision. You have to look at the big picture and say, okay, how can I route this? Or an extra pickup has to be made, and you have to stick that in, but still allow these drivers to make their time, to get from point A to point B, not pay them overtime if it's not necessary. So there's a lot that goes into it, so you kind of have to be ahead of the gun.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of forecasting that you just have to predict. I get weather updates on my phone, in certain areas, that if I had drivers, to make sure that they're not going to hit a hurricane, or listen, can we step on the pedal, get things moving a little bit
Mhm.
quicker, you know? So, but I've had the supervisory to where I've had 30 days to work people and say, listen, this is do or die, or, if you can't make it or break it. So
Got
it all depends on the situations.
Okay. And you've also done, you were with Adecco staffing,
Yes.
so you did somewhat of what I do. So you were
Yes.
doing, was it full desk where you were doing
So
sales?
I
And,
actually, with Adecco, I was an on-site recruiter.
oh, okay.
So with recruiting, you do look for talent for clients. With the on-site, there was too much of a turnaround that they were seeing,
Mhm.
so they put me on site, and I sat down with each manager of each department and said, "Listen, there's so much turnaround. I don't want to just stick a body in a position.
Mhm.
Tell me what you need in a person, and I will find you those people."
Okay.
And I stopped, and I mean it worked. I did a great job for the season, and I'll pat myself on the back. But I made the turnaround a lot less.
Gotcha. Okay. Um, I mean, all of your skill sets are extremely transferable. Like the fact of being able to, I always think when logistics and property management are the two that I feel like if someone can do those two jobs, you can almost do anything because you've
They,
got
Yeah, they're
So many things coming at you
yes.
all at once.
Logistics is it's a big industry. And
Mhm.
like I said, it's not a tunnel vision job. It is you have to look at a big picture.
Exactly. All right. And then did you graduate? Do you have your bachelor's?
Yes.
Okay, bachelor's degree. Okay. And you're able to get started right away?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Also wanted to ask you something really quick. We started talking a little bit about something that you did past career
Yes.
that you don't have listed here on your resume. But I found it interesting because we did talk a little bit about empathy and
Mhm.
you touched on it. So why don't you share just briefly about that position as
So
well?
I was a medical assistant, and right out of graduation, I got a job in it was a housing facility, but they worked closely with the soup kitchen, and I was a liaison on the days that the clinic wasn't open. We would get sample medications, and just I was the front office to where I would try to find places for people to stay. I
Mhm.
worked closely with United Way to find avenues for people these people that didn't know what they had available to them, the resources, just not just the soup kitchen or not just the clinic, trying to get them into housing, food
Mhm.
stamps. There was a lot involved in it. So I got a little bit of the medical side and then a little bit of the clerical side, not just
Yep.
clinical.
Gotcha. And of course, you just to end on, you have a lot of customer service experience.
Yes,
You've
yes.
got phone experience, inbound, outbound. So I mean,
Mm,
really and truly, we have several positions that
okay,
I feel that you could provide great value to our clients. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this part of the interview. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more. I'm going to build a profile for you, and then we're going to
great,
start marketing you out to some of our clients. So
perfect.
don't go anywhere. Got a few more
Okay,
things.